So you've started a podcast or you're looking to start a podcast. Now you need to learn how to release that podcast. And there's plenty of websites that'll release your podcast. I'm going to show you the simplest two that you can use to put it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or tons of other distributors. Anyways, let's get into it. Here we go. So I just did a video on the gear and free software you could use to start your podcast as far as record and edit and get ready to release. So if you haven't checked that out, please check it out. I'll put a link in the description. And essentially what I want to show you is two distributors. One which we use on me and my buddy's video game podcast called Dear Downloads, and that's called Anchor. And then the other is Buzzsprout. So this is Anchor, and it's really cool. It's a free program. It puts you on Spotify and a few other places, and it's free to use. It did take a little bit of work to get on the Apple Podcasts. Luke set that up, but it was pretty straightforward. You just go ahead and you release your first episode, and then you can claim your podcast. So we did a first 30-minute intro one of who we are, and we kind of just had fun talking about video games. We released that through Anchor to Spotify, and then once that was put onto an RSS feed, we were able to go into Apple Podcasts, search our name, and claim it through a certain process. And so anyways, using Anchor, you basically sign in, create your account. What it does is it hosts your podcast. So it lets you upload your audio for your podcast. It hosts it. That way it releases it to all the other places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Overcast, tons. I think we released to 7. And it's great. It actually has a very powerful analytics that are almost like real time. Within half a day, you already know how many people have been watching, where they are, what are they using, what's the actual service they're listening from. So it's really nice. And it does let you monetize off the bat if you wanted. We don't do that. You could choose a setting, and then it'll just play ads on your the beginning or the end of your podcast. And then I think at some point you can end up getting sponsors where you record a personal ad and then it puts it into your podcast. And one of the big things too with your episode is what it lets you do is you upload it, and then if you just have other jingles or other things, it lets you put them at the end or beginning of your episode. And you could do this months after you release it. So if you get a new sponsor, you could do that to all your older podcasts and update it. You can also update all your older artwork. So it's really cool. I like it. It's free. I like free, and it has a lot of functionality to it. Oh yeah. One thing that's cool too is it'll let you add music from Spotify onto the back end or front end of your episode if you want. And it gives those artists the monetization. So if you're a music podcast and you want to represent an artist at the end of every episode, boom, there you go. The only problem is it only does that when people listen to it on Spotify. So it doesn't put that song when people listen to it on Apple Podcasts. And it might not release it to Apple Podcasts. So that could be an issue whether you want to release just on Spotify or all the other places. One interesting thing too with it, if it's just a podcast with just you and other co-hosts, you can honestly just record your podcast in Anchor through the app. You all could be on a call and it records the audio and then it releases it for you. I haven't used it. It's okay. It doesn't let you get the best audio that you can get. So I like to record in OBS and Discord and then edit it in DaVinci Resolve and output an audio MP4 and a video MP4 and upload the audio to Anchor. And then I actually distribute to YouTube as well for more discoverability. This is a new thing. I didn't know they had a cover art creator. So that's actually really nice. You can use Canva for free, or I use a $50 program called, I totally had a brain fart. So I use Affinity Designer to create my album artwork. So it was a $50 program. I got it on sale at some point for $25. And yeah, that's how I design all our artwork in that. So yeah, Anchor for everyone, everywhere, for free. I recommend this. It's a great distributor for your podcast. The second one I recommend is Buzzsprout. So it has a ton of features. One thing that's really cool with it is, you have to pay to it. So, and you could see all these tiers. So depending on how long your podcast is, every week, every month, every whatever, what your upload schedule is, you're going to have to pay for a service. We do about a 1-hour podcast every week. So we would not be able to use this free service. So think about that. But one thing that's great is this $12 a month, service. You can only upload 3 hours each month, but it gives you unlimited storage, unlimited team members, import podcasts for free, advanced stats. These are all like almost on everything. But what's really awesome is this magic mastering. And what mastering is say you record a podcast and the audio just isn't loud enough and people have to turn their volume up all the way. Mastering helps bring that volume to like a master, like a standard of audio level. That way it could be listened on any device without anything. However, I already understand audio mastering, so I do that when I record in OBS and edit in DaVinci Resolve. That way that step is already taken care of, so I don't need to use that service. However, if you don't understand any of that, this might be the best bet for you to record your podcast in OBS, edit in DaVinci, and then use this service to get your audio to the correct, industry standard levels. So it's saying all pay plans include the podcast statistics. They give you a website for your podcast. It gives you embed players, and then you could get into other podcast directories. There's all sorts of add-ons you could do. This might be good if you're trying to maximize your discoverability or searchability. Is you could get episode transcription, so that way you get a lot of metadata of every word you said in the podcast. Or if you want to release it as like a weekly newsletter or something written to your subscribers, that's pretty cool. Yeah. You don't have a long-term contract. It's just whatever you pay a month. And check it out. You get a free for 90 days starting trial. So I'm fascinated with making things and learning tech. And my goal on this channel is to help show you how to make your videos or content look and sound more professional. And sometimes I just make stuff out of steel or whatever I want, So if any of that interests you, please hit that subscribe button and like the video if this helped you out. And leave a comment below and let me know, if you had any issues or, hey, this was helpful. I'd really appreciate it. You could check out the music playing in the background on Spotify. It's called Stream Tunes Lo-Fi Beats. And other than that, thanks for watching the video and we'll see you on the next one.